Breaking glass walls with the São Paulo sicario. If you believe, then you achieve. Flying between the peaks of the Andes' dark sunset sky, a thunderstorm flashing about 50 miles away is one of the strongest memories of my years travelling. I was on my way to São Paulo for a week to run a workshop for IT-oriented customer engagement managers, some old hands, some newer recruits. The objective was to help them adopt that business value matters as much as IT functions. I arrived Saturday. Even with my long experience of travel, a 15-hour time difference was a killer. I sat down late afternoon and I woke up on Sunday. Monday morning, a beautiful São Paulo day. I walked 600 meters to the office and took the lift to the 7th floor. I'd agreed to take the senior leadership team through a 90-minute induction session. They were sponsoring the program and wanted to know more. Getting them on board is critical for success, I thought. They wanted their people to adopt a more value-thinking mindset with their customers. They believed that both their business and customers' business were missing opportunities to maximize value from relationships and capabilities. Tuesday morning, we're in a large meeting room, a group of about 12 engagement managers and me. They all had backgrounds in IT and their careers had been focused only on that business function. They saw their role as a reactive, tactical, almost commodity supplier to the customer's internal IT organization, rather than a partner in their success. The underlying change theme of the workshop was that they needed to change the way they thought about their role. They should no longer only focus on IT, but also on the real business. The sponsors needed their people to break out of their self-imposed glass box. I knew this needed a big mindset change, an uncomfortable change for many traditional IT-focused people. I knew it because we'd faced it and successfully changed this mindset in many other teams worldwide. My program was proven to deliver. However, more than any other group I encountered, this audience fought moving from this comfortable IT myopia. Throughout the day, this inertia and resistance was evident. We see what you're saying and we agree about providing the business with value, but we can't get to the business. Their IT will not let us talk to the business. The business are not interested in what we have to say. We're just a software supplier. Our only customer is IT, i.e. their IT know nothing about the business. I know nothing about their business. By the end of the day, I knew this had to be taken head on. So I closed the day with a proposal. Since getting access to the business seems a big issue for everyone, we'll scrap the first 2 hours tomorrow and workshop that instead. Agreed? Wednesday morning I was rested and everyone was eager and excited. I gambled that they would get greater and longer lasting benefit from working through the problem themselves as a team. We all agreed the problem statement and then I stepped back, allowing them to drive the session while I lightly facilitated and guided. One of the newbies, let's call him Miguel, had previously been a very experienced CIO. I appointed him as voice of the customer internal IT. He was surprised when I handed him a hat made from flip chart paper. He loved it, took it home afterwards. It really set the right tone for the session. The team worked really well, calling out all the objections and issues they had encountered or could think of. Gradually, the coping strategies appeared on the whiteboard as we explored the situations and motivations of the typical people involved. We rolled from one situation to another, formulating strategy and tactics, then exploring the likely counters that would arise. Miguel played his role really well, bringing his real-life experience as a CIO, explaining why he would raise many of the barriers the team complained about, and challenging approaches that they suggested. Eventually, no more obstacles came from the floor, so I rolled them the final scenario. So, you have a solution that will provide massive value for their business, you've proven this elsewhere, you're willing to do risk-reward, and the CIO will still not take it to the business. What do? There was a short silence as the team digested this. Then someone gave a really innovative solution. Indicating Miguel, they said, well, in that case, I'd have him killed. Success in business and in life is dependent on human relationships and rapport, even in our AI world. The foundation of it all is trust and belief. Trust comes from displaying reliability, credibility, and competence, much of which can be learnt, but the factors that most impact your ability to make a difference are your underlying beliefs and intent. Beliefs feed all other interactions, thinking, and attitude, like roots feed a tree. They can be hard to change, but if you do not, then you risk a mismatch between what you say and what you do. People's own lack of belief and purpose often traps them and their potential in a reactive glass box comfort zone. People who set a positive intent, their why, their purpose, can then believe and live it with every waking breath. It provides both a personal mission statement and a safety net for unexpected occurrences. It drives commitment, proactivity, and courage to do the right thing, even if this is uncomfortable. It generates integrity, authenticity, and trust. If they can see that your heart is in the right place, but your technique is a bit clunky, then research tells us that those people will trust you even more for trying. Human relationships and rapport take time. They take investment to build and maintain. This may involve doing things you don't think you can do or that are uncomfortable for you. However, if you truly believe and are committed to your intent and purpose, then you will force yourself to do them, and you will succeed. Look, I suppose it was my fault, really. I challenged them to be creative all morning in some really unsubtle ways. I've come up with that idea myself in a couple of accounts, popped into my brain, but I wasn't sure saying that would add value. Luckily, after a couple of seconds, everybody laughed and someone answered for me. Optima idea. But what we should really do is, and together they then created a less fatal and more legal and ethical solution. We eventually broke for coffee at about 11 o'clock. While they were grabbing coffee, I consolidated their output onto a simple one flip chart how-to guide, almost a strategic decision tree on how to roll from one objection to another. We came back, reviewed, and enthusiastically finalized it as a team. So I thought I'd risk a commitment close. I say your role is to continuously help customers to maximize and accelerate their business value from their involvement with us. Do you believe this is critical? Do you believe you can do this? Do you commit to do this? Nods all round. Everyone was really happy. It confirmed that they could do it. It was a real verification and confidence boost for them. Now, the workshop was only an introductory stage of their ongoing change program, and in the subsequent mentoring and cementing phases, I watched that team apply the mindset and move mountains. Looking back now after all these years, that session still sticks in my mind. What does it take to move mountains and achieve things that make a difference? Well, if you don't believe, then you look for excuses to remain static and comfortable, and you will change nothing, likely become commoditized and replaceable. If you believe, set your intent and live it, really live it, then you will shine in everything you do and people will know. It will empower you to move the Andes if needed. I've spent 25 plus years honing practical and pragmatic approaches for developing and growing a success mindset in people. Contact me to discuss how. I'm here to help, and I'm always open to thoughts and opinions. I'll talk to you soon.